The following review is on our last Leader Class Dinobot. It's Studio Series 86 Swoop. Stay tuned. Still here. And today we're doing our last Dinobot. It is Studio Series 86-26 Leader Swoop. First, take a look at the package. It is the open face package. And right off the bat, we see one sword and two swords right down there. We see Swoop, Transformers the movie, Transformers logo 86-26, Transformers the movie, a Leader Class, Dinobot mode, and it is big screen inspired, scale, detail, backdrop, Battle of Autobot City. There's Swoop. Swoop and the Dinobots drop in to destroy Devastator. UPC. Now let's get this guy open. Whoop. And then we've got this. Now I already opened a little bag on the inside. Attached back here is a little bag, and you basically have there you go, two missile launchers and two missiles done in the gunmetal gray, black, and that gold. This is the attack on Autobot City. See an explosion in the background, pretty cool. And notice that the what he gets packaged in is the exact same scene, which is pretty cool. I like how Hasbro spends the extra money on the paint. And now, well, let's do this. Let's take off one sword and two swords. Let's see. Push this. There you go. All right. From what I understand, the bigger one is Grimlock's sword. And it's molded in red, and it's got a 5mm port there, I guess for storage, and here's the end. And then this would be Swoop's sword, which is a little more different, looks more mechanical. Looks like there's more pipes and stuff and more engineering on it. And now let's get the big guy out of the package. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different ways. And here is our big boy Swoop. And he does not disappoint at all. And then we'll look at the, whoops. Oh, I hope these things aren't going to be loose. Instruction booklet. Alright, so first off the bat, you can put the two missiles as guns in each hand. And there he is. You can put both swords in his hand and have him brandish both swords. And then you can put the swords in the back of the wings and the missiles in the front of the wings. So, first we'll do this. Alright, so we got one. Oh, you know what? It's kind of weird though, because there's really not much. Oh yeah, it's cut out a little for the hand. Could be a little better though. See how the gun's cut out? There. So that is number one option. And then the two option is just have you do the swords like that. So now we got the second option, and the third option is the swords go on the back of the wings and the missiles go on the front. So I always like to show you what the instruction booklet shows you. There goes one. Now obviously Grimlock's going to have his own sword. And then these go here, I believe. Now, Always one side. That always is too tight. Yep, and that is the third option. And the rest is just transforming him. And when you get him into pterandon mode, you can put the swords on the back of him, which is pretty goofy looking. And you can put the missiles underneath the wings. I don't understand what this is. This you put them there, and this you put them in the same spot. So, I don't know. Anyway, we'll take off the swords for now. And now let's look at the actual figure. So, face is very, very nice. You got those blue Dinobot eyes, the red head, the silver face. You've got the dinosaur beak with the blue eyes, the Autobot symbol. The blue chest with the red. Going down here, you've got the gold, and you can see the gold claws of the dino mode. Going down the feet, gunmetal gray and black. No paint on the arms, though. I'm surprised. I wonder if that's accurate. You got the gray. Everything's gray. The hand, both sides of the arm, everything's gray. Turn them around. You have a little hollowness right here, though. But I can see how they fill them out when they transform. Just a little hollowness in the ankles. The back is really not much to look at. It's kind of not smooth, but, you know, what are you going to do? Let's see. The wings fold out like that. And then I love how they have this added part. So those wings are pretty long. We knew Swoop was going to be a very high wingspan. Had to be. Alright, now the head. Look up. Look down. 360 degrees. If you move the wings like that, the arm could do 360 degrees. If you put it out like that, it does the whole, it goes out like that. 90 degrees at the 90 degrees at the elbow, but it rotates at the bicep, not at the elbow. And the hand is 360 degrees. Again, if you move this in, you can do the whole hand. Goes out. And it rotates at the bicep, not at the elbow, which is kind of weird. But, yeah, and you see the hollow. I mean, on a Leader Class figure, I think kind of they should have done a little panel there. Saying since, like, when the original two Dinobots came out, you had them coming out with, like, little Daniel and Spike or something. Now they don't, Wheelie and Spike, now they don't even come with anything at all. Plus, they've gotten more expensive. Well, let's see. The waist, if you lift up the head, it will go 360 degrees. See, the foot, up 90 degrees. And I like how these are all split up. They're different. Back, if you move the wing, you can do 90 degrees. And he does the whole split. Nice, thick, hard bicep rotation. And it's pinned in. It's not mushroom pegged. More than 90 degrees for the elbow or the knee. I'm sorry. And then, of course, ankle rocket is pretty good. And these go up and down. So all in all, just like what you expect from a Leader Class, articulation is very, very good. Let's see. And you can even, he stretches out like that. That's for transformation, though. But kind of like usually Optimuses go the other way. You have the crunch where you could pull them forward, but this one you can't. So that is our Leader Swoop. Okay, so I think let's just take another look at everything. You got the chest, you got the arms, you got the legs. So I like the pink, and I always wonder why Swoop was blue and everybody else was red. But that is comic accurate, and they did make a red Swoop at Target. So, in the last the last Swoop we had was Power of the Primes. where he was a combiner. So, I mean, that was a step up from the original. And now we have our Leader Class Swoop. All right, now let's do the moment we're getting for. Let's bring out all the other Dinobots and do some comparisons. Now, before our comparisons, we're going to bring out the Studio Series backdrop. Yeah, we're just going to put Swoop right here in the Battle of Autobot City. I don't know who displays these backdrops. They're neat to have. Do you know how much space they would take up? Alright, so first what we're going to do is we're going to bring out Grimlock. Now, he was our first of the Dinobots, and now that he has his sword back. So we're going to give him his sword. Thank you, Swoop. And now we have a proper Grimlock and Swoop. Alright, now, and those two guys look good. I'm going to put Grimlock to the side. Next came Slug or Slag. Now, Slag is a tad taller than Swoop, but just because he's a big Dinobot, he's taller than Grimlock too. And then came Sludge. Alright, now I think Sludge is the least of the group in Dino mode. I think he's the worst. But since I had Sludge as a kid, he's got a special place in my heart. And he's a little taller than Swoop too, but Swoop is always the small of the Dinobots. And then last was the other hardest one to find, Snarl. And Snarl is pretty good. He came with his own sword. So now we're missing a sword for Slug and Sludge. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring out all the Dinobots. Alright, let's see how they look together in my little setup here. Oh, I think I'm going to need to back out a little more. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whoops. And that is all of the Dinobots finally complete. And I think this is the group that we've been waiting for. And if anything deserved a leader class size, it is these guys. Alright, now we're going to take these guys away for just a minute. And we're going to do some other comparisons. Okay, so let's zoom in now. Alright, now we got Swoop. We're going to bring in Power of the Prime Swoop. And Animated Swoop. No movies, because he was called Strafe. So, there you got the Leader Class. And this is the Power of the Primes. And this guy had a couple. I mean, I like the way they did this extra piece on the feet and all. He was pretty cool, and he's a combiner. So those are Animated Swoop, Power of the Prime Swoop, and Swoop. And we're going to bring in Ultra Magnus. Now, this is the one scale I think is a little off. But Ultra Magnus was so hard to scale. And so I'm going to, and this was Commander Class. So now, yes, Commander Class and Leader Class, you can obviously see the difference. Now, we're going to do Swoop with, no, that was the right one. Swoop with Optimus Prime, because he was with Optimus Prime back in the old G1 cartoon days. And Optimus Prime did look up to all the Dinobots, so I think this is a proper scale. And then, in the movie, we had Perceptor. So, Deluxe Perceptor, and he was also in the old cartoons. I think that is a pretty good scale. And then we had Hot Rod Cup were in charge of getting the Dinobots in the shuttle. So we have our Studio Series Hot Rod and Blur. Hot Rod, Cup, and Blur were in charge of getting the Dinobots in the shuttle. So there you have them. And then Blur went with the other ones. So on the planet Quintessa, you had Hot Rod, Cup, and the Dinobots. And then post-movie, Rodimus Prime was leader of the Autobots. And that is Commander Class Rodimus. I'm not going to show you all alt modes, but, you know, like Hot Rod and Cup were in the movies with him. Preceptor was in Autobot City, so, you know, and I think they are scaled perfectly. All right, now let's transform Swoop. Now, to transform Swoop, he is pretty simplistic. First, we're going to remove the sword. And I forgot to mention, too, on the arms, for a little articulation, they pop out just a little. So if you want to do that in robot mode, that's fine. First, we're going to take each hand. Now it's snapped in. We're going to fold the hand in and straighten the arm out. Okay? Fold the hand in, straighten the arm out. And then we're going to lift this little area down. Now we're just going to separate this just a little, because that is going to release the head. And we're going to lift the head up. And then this, you got a little tab right there, and it's going to fit in that slot in the head. So there's head, and we're going to bring the head up. See how this whole thing on the neck? And then what we're going to do is we're going to slide these on a double slide. So we're going to slide these in like that. So we're just going to be careful. We're just going to slide. And then there'll be two tabs that connect inside. There. So we got the one side pretty good. There. And they're just going to push them together like that. Okay? Next is, if you'll notice, you'll have a tab here and a tab here. And we're going to lock the wing in to those two tabs, or the arm. Okay, so the arm gets tabbed into the wing. Again, the arm gets tabbed into the wing. All right, so basically we're halfway there. Come to the feet, and we're going to fold the heel spur in, and then fold this all the way in. Okay, now we're going to take the wings. Right now, we're just going to unpeg the wings. And we're just going to fold these out. And we're just going to fold these out. Now, they're on double hinge, so you might want to do a little straightening up. See how they're on top of each other? So just straighten that hinge up. Okay, now, what you're going to do is you have these tabs here. Here and here are going to the bottom of the foot. So we're going to bend it like normal swoops. And we're just going to pop that in there. And now he is going to get untabbed. So that's done and that's done. You can see there's no gap now in between here. Now you can have swoop like that, but then you want to take this other tip of the wing, tabs in here to there, and what you're going to do is you're going to fold it out and it's going to tab into there. Like that, and that improves the wingspan. So take this here, put it out here. So now he's got that big old long wingspan. And basically, you are done with Swoop. And that's it. Now I kept the missiles on the bottom, so that's where they should be. Right there. And, whoops. Now if you want to do other poses, yes, you're going to have to disconnect them. But you can also move them like this because they got maneuverability. Okay, so he's all done. Everything's all set in. I kind of wish the hand snapped into the body, but they don't. And this is where you could pull out that extra little movement like that. So you can have them do like that. And if you want to put the swords on, they'll just go right here. Oh, whoops. Grimlock. Give me back your sword, Grimlock. And that is our Swoop. And he's cool. He's got little thrusters in the back, on the back of the knees. And let's see. Nope. See, they could have easily made these blast effect compatible, which that'd be cool because you can have fire coming out. Now, what he is if you open his mouth, you can see some detail in the mouth. All right? You can see it's silver up there. You got some detail in here, and you have a pin there. So you're probably going to have to use this one. I'll fit right in the mouth. And then you got Swoop firing out of his breath. And I kind of wish these were blast effect compatible, but they're not. They're a little too big. And if you try to stretch them, they won't stay. So that'd be cool if you could have fire blast compatibles on here or maybe in the back. But missed opportunities. I mean, this figure, he's pretty cool, but they could have made him just a little better by making these blast effect compatible, but they didn't. Not a big deal. And that is our Swoop. You get the little feet in the back, and if you want him to sit, like, you gotta take the swords off. And you can also sit here, and then you can move the neck. So the neck is on a little, this moves back and forth. You got the little chin moves, as this is on a joint, but mine's very hard to move. And then you can move this forward, and you can have him sit down in his sitting pose. And you can have him open his mouth. And so there is our Swoop in dino mode. Yeah, and the arms just hang out there, but that's what they did in the original. We got those extra long wingspan. I mean, he's accurate to his cartoon model. His legs always did fold in the back of his, onto his back. I do like the silver they use for the wings as opposed to the gray. And even this piece looks like it's gray and that's silver, but look at all the intricate detail on both sides. You could see, like, you know, wires and hoses and fans and diodes and all that stuff. And you got his Autobot symbol there, an Autobot symbol there, and at his beak. So he's got cool blue eyes. I like the extra little piece they added to his head. The more detailing. I like how his chest compacts, the arms. I mean, he's got little feet, and you rotate him around. You know, so let's see, in the wings, let's see, the wings you can move them this way. So these wings move, these don't. And if you want to move these, you'll have to either bring the arm with them or disconnect them, but you won't get that much further. So, I mean, the wings don't do that, and you can go, they can go down like that, but they don't really flop much like that. But pretty cool. And then if you want, no, I guess you can't put them on this side. You can only put the missiles up. And you can put the missiles here. Like this. And like that. To give them a wider wingspan. Now let's see what the instructions say to put them on. Alright. We always go back to the instructions. And see, the instructions have them. See, on the smaller one, not that one right there. So they've got them on this one, although you could have put them on the other one too. These look the same. Because you got that there, and you turn them around, it's still the bottom one. So, that is our Swoop. And I like them. I mean, we finally got our Dinobots complete. I guess he does look a little big here. I mean, if there was a way to shift this down, but, you know, whoops, there you go. Move his head up like that. The only thing, though, is there's a pin here, so normally you would think this, there it goes. Mine's just very hard. There. So I did move it down a little. So, I mean, and his head's on a swivel right there. So you got movement there, here, and here. So that looks a little better. And remember, he is a pterandon, not a pterodactyl. And what's the difference? Pterodactyls have tails. So, all right, now let's bring out all the other Dinobots. All right, now we're going to bring in our Swoop from Animated. He's a little different. And then we're going to bring in Power of the Prime Swoop. Now this is more of the G1 variety, is the G1 Swoop. All right. Actually, you know what? Before we bring in the Dinobots, let's just do all the other guys. So we're going to have Hot Rodding, Cup, and Swoop, because they were all together on Quintesson. All right. And then we're going to have Prime. So this is definitely a good size up. And I was going to bring in Ultra Magnus because he's a commander class. And I'm not really sure how these guys would really scale. But, you know, I'm thinking maybe Ultra Magnus could bring the Dinobots into battle. But we're going to test that later on. Alright, first we're going to bring in the King of the Dinobots. Actually, let's do, no, well, how about if we angle these a little back? Yeah, just for comparison, because I only have so much room. Alright, so, there we got Swoop and Grimlock. Alright. Let's see. Next was Slug. He'll always be Slag in my heart. Always. Molten Lava, which was Slag. Sludge. Now, I always call Sludge the worst of the bunch because this whole area, I mean, this sticks out too big and then it goes up and the tail. And I just don't like the way they did his robot mode. I mean, he's perfect, as the rest of them are. But in dinosaur mode, I think he's the weakest of the bunch. Still pretty cool, but just the weakest of the bunch. And Snarl. Remember, Swoop and Snarl were the last two Dinobots that Ratchet and Wheeljack built. Alright, now we are going to bring the whole team together. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. But, you know what? We'll switch these guys. And we'll put Swoop. You know, they have, and I tried a flight stand for Swoop, but it just didn't help. I think Swoop's too heavy, and when you bring my flight stand out, what happens is, say it doesn't fit that way, it only fits this way, and then you have this, but then there's too much. I mean, if I hold it, yeah, it works. Let's see if I could do something. Yeah, at least on my flight stand, he doesn't do any good. You know, and I know some people have... Let me see what I can do real quick. Here we go. I got him on a glass, upside down glass. So now let's just get all these guys set up. And in a good... Open your mouth up, Snarl. Oh. And we're going to open our mouth up. We're going to fold the wings down. Let's get a nice group picture. Everybody say Decepticon. All right. And that is our Dinobots all together. And I think they make a great set. Remember, Grimlock came out in 2020. So it took us 4 years to get the whole Dinobot set. And now, one more thing. So we're going to bring in our Ultra Magnus. And let's see if he can bring the dinos. Nope, well, there you go. He can bring one dino into battle. So, alright, and that is our Dinobot Swoop in bird mode. Now, one thing I always do is I always transform these guys back. So, he came in robot mode, so I start in robot mode. Now we're going to transform him back into dino mode. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is untab the feet. And we're just going to pull this back. We're going to take the feet and put the foot forward and take the heel and put it back. Okay? Same thing on the side. Do the foot, put the toe and the heel, and now we've got that. So now if we do that, he looks like he's a Veritech fighter, for those who know Robotech. Alright, next, we're going to untab the wings. We're going to flip this up and fold this in, and we got that. Okay? So, remember, we're going to untab it right here, flip this up, fold that back. Okay, and we'll deal with these later. Next thing we're going to do is, now this is the hardest part. I haven't figured out how to do this yet. So you want to get your hand back here, and we're going to have to separate the chest. I've only done this a few times, so if you have an easier way to do this, let me know. I don't want to break them. There we go. This is why I want to do this on video, so you see how hard he is. And he's a double hinge. There. So I got that out. Now, you got to take your finger in underneath the eyeball. It's easiest underneath the eye, and just pop that out. Now, when you bring this down, you've got two circles cut out right there. They're for each side of here. So you want to lower the head, up the neck, flip that neck up, and then lower the head. Each circle will go into that. Push the head back. The neck snaps in. That little snaps in. Alright. We can close this back up. Fold out the hands. Fold out the hands. And then we can... let's put these on the other side. How do they go? I always forget how they go. Yeah, they do go on here. So we're just going to switch them around and put them here. And then we've got Swoop Sword. And that is our Swoop back in robot mode. And I do like him. I love how they made how they had a chance to extend the wings out. Like I said, the hardest part is trying to get this chest separated. See how it moves like that? The pin's right here. But that's the hardest part, I know. And well, if I ever figure out an easy way to do it, I'll do a short. Alright, well, let's bring in all the other dinosaurs and end the review. Now, if I were to rate all my Dinobots in order of which one I like the best and the ones with the biggest problems, okay? My least favorite Dinobot, this is just on engineering, is Sludge. The legs are way too loose, and I think in Dino mode, the whole back of him just doesn't look right. And like I said, I had Sludge. Sludge was the only one I had a kid, and so he's special to me. But Sludge is number 5. Coming at number 4, I would say it is Slag. Mostly because these pieces right here, the first time I got them, they broke very easy, and the horns do break off. So luckily I returned them and got a new one. And his part of the tail is very hard to put in. I'm glad they do get some extra engineering, but as far as, you know what? I think it goes, no, it goes this way. So they're all, very good dinosaurs, Dinobots. So Slag would be my second least favorite. Then these three, oh boy. I guess I would put Snarl next on the list, because I just don't like his legs. Am I doing this right? Yeah, it looks, oh wait. You can move it just a little. There we go. It's I've done so many reviews that trying to transform some of these is now I think I'll put Snarl third, only because the other two I just love so much better. Then you got Grimlock and Swoop. I'm gonna call these a tie for right now, because I haven't had Swoop enough time to play with it, and I think Grimlock is just perfect. The way everything encloses in his legs, G1 accuracy, yeah, this little smokes thing, it doesn't bother me. If this was clear or not there, he'd be 11 out of 10. But right now, he's a 10 out of 10. So Grimlock is the king of the Dinobots still. And then Swoop is, we always wondered how would Swoop be in this size. Some people thought he'd be a deluxe. I always knew he'd be leader. I love how they, look at that wingspan. That is a huge wingspan, and it compacts pretty good. I like the way the chest goes. He came with a sword for Grimlock. So, well, there we have. Our Dinobots are complete. And boy, do they look good. Here, we'll put Swoop at first. There we go. Can we get a group shot in again? There's our group shot. And I'll do a little photo gallery at the end. But there we go. We've got our Dinobots all completed. And of course, we're going to bring in Optimus Prime. So if you ever rewatch those old Transformer episodes, this is the scale I think that is perfect. And also like to thank Wheeljack and Ratchet. I don't have the 86 Ratchet yet. For building the Dinobots. So thank you, Prime. And for commissioning that Wheeljack and Ratchet build the Dinobots. So here we have the thank you. And they make a surprise appearance. Me, Grimlock, King. But we'll do as you say, Optimus Prime. And let's see, a few things. I love the Dinobots. I like the original I liked them better in the original seasons 1, 2, 3 because they were powerful. They were taken seriously. I love how Swoop had his own little part on the desertion of the Dinobots. I love the Dinobot Island 2-parter. And then once you got to season 3 with Rodimus, and after the movie, you never saw them out of their dino mode, and they were for comedy, which I did not like. So, again, here is Swoop. So Swoop came with Grimlock's sword. So now 3 Dinobots have swords. The other 2 don't, but if you buy the upgrade kit, I'm sure there is a sword available. Alright, so this is Swoop's review. So like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications. Not only do we do Transformers, we do DC, Marvel. I've done all these guys now. I'll put them in my own little playlist. You'll find them in the Studio Series 86 playlist, but I think I'll go and make my own Dinobot playlist. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications if you want to help the channel. I have 2 tiers, 99-cent core class and $1.09 deluxe class. Right now, I got nothing behind the scenes, but if you want to help me contribute to the channel, 99 cents, from a lot of people, help a lot. These things are not getting cheaper. This guy had to pay the full price at $55.99, $1 more from Big Bad Toy Store. because I missed out on Amazon, and I know he just went back on Amazon. So, you know, then $4 shipping. I like to get my stuff from Amazon. But Big Bad Toy Store is a good alternative. I also have an affiliate for Affiliate Earth, so there might be a link below for Entertainment Earth and Amazon. If you want to get yours from there, that helps me too. All right, so me Swoop, no say nothing. Nah. All right, Dinobots are done. Rodimusbill out.